Welcome to Bottles and Bites Without Borders, where every sip and every bite tell a story. Rob is your host. Each week, he will take you on a delicious journey, from vineyard tales and distillery secrets to culinary traditions. So, grab a favorite drink, a plate of something tasty, and join us for another adventure with Bottles and Bites.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. Thanks so much for stopping by. We are talking wine today, white wine specifically. Yep. My lovely wife Sandra joining the podcast again. How you doing, babe?
I'm doing great.
Won't be long and I'll be saying co-host. You're on here so much now. My goodness. And always asking, can I come on? Can I come on? Now you like it. Not true?
No.
No. Well, we are talking white wines today, and we are going to do a top 5 of our, let's just call it our favorite white wines we've been drinking and want to drink more of. You know, that we've found or been exposed to, or something that just kind of wowed us, and we go, all right, that's good. I want to drink more of that. So we're putting together our top 5 white wines that meet that kind of criteria.
Yep.
All right, white wines. Better than red wines?
Yes.
A lot better?
Well, I wouldn't say a lot better. I like them a lot more because they're a little more versatile. You can have them any time of the day, where I feel red wines is more of a food drink.
You want food when you have red wine.
Yes.
I get that. There can be some reds, but I would agree with you as an overall category, there's less reds that you're going to drink on their own. You'd rather have food. And whites, there's, way more that you could drink on their own, but also all of those still go great with food.
To your definitely.
Point of,
definitely.
More versatile.
Yes, more versatile.
Now, Europeans are going, you guys are silly. All wine must go with food.
Well, they're not wrong.
No, you would agree with that because I know you have that. If we're going to have a glass of wine, let's have some. I think you might be more Spanish than Mexican with that kind of mentality. You got to have a little bite with your food.
Well, I don't know if that would be true.
It's a joke.
Okay, I'm like, where are you going with that?
Just because you like wine with food, it's a European thing. I'm trying to, shift you to being from Spain versus Mexico, which you could have that Spanish blood in you.
Well, I could, but in Mexico, if I'm going to be eating Mexican food, I'll probably be having a margarita, a paloma, or something like that.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Different type of drink.
So white wines,
yes.
I will say that I used to not be a big fan.
I know.
And I can tell you a story. Jeremy Hart here in town, big wine guy. I remember several years ago, it's probably been, this is probably pre-COVID. Him and I went to lunch, and we had lunch at an Asian restaurant.
Uh-huh.
And he brought a really nice bottle of white. And it made sense. At that time I was going, still a red guy. So I brought a high acid red. And I remember having lunch with Jeremy, and him looking at me going, do you not like white wine? I go, not really. It's okay. Maybe I'll have a little taste of it before dinner or something, but not really my jam. He goes, I'm telling you, you're wrong. You're missing out. And it's not going to take long before you come back to me and tell me, Jeremy, white wine's where it's at. And Jeremy, white wine's where it's at.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think there's this, I don't know how to, there's this kind of thought, I'll just say it that way, that red wine is this bold and elegant and, very classy and high kind of society kind of wine. If you're going to impress somebody, you're opening a big bad red. Where white wines are like, we're going to have a little cheese board here. You want a glass of white? It's kind of an afterthought. Is that fair?
Absolutely. I think you're absolutely right with that. I think a lot of people when they think I'm going to a wine dinner or I'm having friends over for wine, they're right away thinking red wine, not necessarily white. And if they're only thinking white, it's probably more for the fish or chicken or something. Then they're like, oh, well.
Or just a pre-dinner kind of drink, just to have something and not think about it.
Yes. And I think I know I probably did too, but as we dove more into the wines, then I realized, well, there are white wines for dinner too.
There's a lot
A
more.
lot.
Yeah, most white wines go great with food. What I would say is we found out that there's also some very serious white wines. White wines that have very complex structure to it, a lot of complexity, great, fruit and acidity. This kind of, beautiful wines that really make you think about it. Like, when you think about a serious red, people say serious red. Well, there's some very serious whites.
Yes, and I know I've had some, but don't ask me what they were. But yes, I agree with that. There are some very good white wines, very complex white wines that just blow you away.
Yeah, I think you can get them in a lot of categories, but two that just jump right to mind to me are Chardonnay and Riesling.
Yes, and we're not talking like the lower level Chardonnays. We're talking really good.
Well, when you say serious, there's serious means probably a little more expensive.
Yes.
And any great wine starts first with quality fruit.
Yes.
So, going to be some very quality fruit involved as well.
Oh, yeah.
And then usually, it goes up in price when there's a kiss of oak, at least a kiss of oak. So probably some oak involved. But I really like the way the Europeans do it where they don't over oak. And we're seeing that trend kind of come back to the States where, it used to be this perception of Napa Chardonnay was always going to be very buttery and over oaked. And now it's a little more restrained. There's actually been some Sonoma Chardonnays that we've had, some Chardonnays that we really enjoy from like Santa Rita Hills in the Central Coast, Santa Barbara area. So I think that style is coming back, and I think, it's what we enjoy. I remember when we first got into wine, we didn't like Chardonnay because that's all we were exposed to.
Yes, I would agree with that. I know I started out there, but then we moved on to other things. But yes, I would agree with that. That we were like, I don't know about the Chardonnays because we were used to the very Napa buttery type Chardonnays.
Just wasn't our thing. Now, white wines still have this kind of different category to it. What I mean by that is you get to warmer and cooler climates that can affect the style of wine that's in the bottle. Meaning, if you have a very cool climate that you're growing Chardonnay in, it's going to be probably a little cleaner, a little more crisp, have a little edge to it. Where if you're growing a Chardonnay in a warmer climate, might have more tropical fruits, a little bit more roundness, a little bit more weight and body to it. So understanding how, don't expect a Chardonnay to always be the same in every region. Same with any white grape that you're talking about, whether it's Riesling or Caricante or Chenin Blanc. Any of these can be a little different based on where they're being grown, that terroir, that climate. And that's kind of the fun of exploring wine as well.
Well, that's interesting you say that because I'll present to you after my list like where these wines fall. Maybe because I don't know as much about where these wines are grown or where they're produced rather. So I don't know if they're all maybe more warmer climates or cooler climates. So maybe I'm leaning more when you hear my list, maybe it might be more warmer. And you'd say maybe those are the type of white wines you like versus the cooler climates, or maybe I've got a nice variety. I'm
going to say you probably do because we drink, you may not know it, but we drink a very wide variety because, and I'm sure you notice it when you drink it at the time. It's just not probably in your memory bank where you can just pop it up and go, I can remember that being a little more crisp. I can remember that being a little bit more round or having some mallow to it where it had this weight and this kind of creaminess to it.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Yep. I will tell you, yes, I did like that one. Or no, that wasn't really what I liked.
Yeah.
Or I maybe liked it at the time.
But it's not very often that you say, no, I don't like that one.
That is true.
It does happen once in a while, but not very often.
No, not very often. I will say maybe that might happen a little bit more with the reds than I think with the whites.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that's probably true. Okay, as we get into our list, I took the approach of, what do I think listeners, might not be as aware of as being a great wine they should try? So, like, could I have said Chablis Yeah, of course. I will always love and if I had to put my absolute favorite white wines on a list, Chablis would be there.
Hmm.
But these are my top 5 wines I enjoy drinking right now that I've kind of discovered and
Okay.
I think need to be kind of promoted a little bit more, presented to the people to go, if you haven't tried this grape from this region, you need to.
Okay.
How about your approach?
It's what I like.
It's what you remember?
It's what I remember that I know that I like. I will say that sometimes when we go to the wine shop and we're looking at the white wines, I'm like, I think I remember drinking that and I liked it. But I don't always remember the names of the grapes or the varietal. So I kind of stick to I know what I like, and they're probably the most common ones.
Well, there's no wrong answer.
Okay.
It'll be interesting to see if I say something that you go, oh, I forgot about those. I really like those. Because you may. You may not, but you might.
I'm sure there will be.
With what you've said, I'm wondering if you're just going, is Chablis going to be on your list?
Of course. But where will it fall?
Oh, that's the question. That's the question. Okay. So lots of great white wine grapes out there. I'm just going to run through some regions and grapes real quick that could be on the list. You think about Chablis, which is part of Burgundy, but then Burgundy as well. Chablis kind of got its own little AOC up there.
Mm-hmm.
Riesling's from all over the world, but we think Germany, we think Alsace, we think probably Austria when we think Riesling. Chenin Blanc, Albarino, Etna Rosso. Not Etna Rosso, Etna Bianco. Simeon is a great grape that we've been enjoying. Sancerre, Suave Classico, Pinot Gris, Pinot Grigio, Fiano, Gavi, Arnis, Pecorino. There's all kinds of white wines that are just Gruner Veltliner.
Yep.
Beautiful, beautiful wines. So the world of white wine, my point in saying this, I'm just rambling off a few. There's thousands.
Oh, yeah.
And what makes white wine drinking fun for me is to get to countries where, just like red wines, when you think about the world of winemaking when it relates to red wine, you think the Bordeaux varieties, right? Cabernet, Merlot, Cab Franc, all Malbec. And then you start thinking Pinot Noir, you think Syrah, right? You might think Zinfandel a little bit. These are what you think are the kind of the king of the reds. Forgetting that there's some other great grapes. And the list of great grapes for the reds are other ones besides them. They're long, but not as many as you can get into with whites. For example, if you think Italy, your first thought would be red wines, right?
Definitely.
You're going to think Chiantis, you're going to think Brunellos, you're going to think Barolos and Barbarescos, all this kind of stuff from Italy. But they make way more white wine than they do red wine.
Oh.
And they have so many indigenous varieties. A lot of the last ones that I mentioned, Fiano, Gavi, Arnis, Pecorino.
You say all those, and now they're all coming back to me.
Yeah, Pinot Grigio, Suave Classico. All these are white grapes that are indigenous to Italy. So I just say that to say, such a huge world to explore and enjoy. And if you're into wine and drinking wine at all, that's what you should be doing, exploring.
Well, I do know some of the wine dinners that we go to, and they do present a white wine at times. That's one that I'm like, oh, I want some more of that.
Yeah.
Or it's like, okay.
Yeah.
But
I'll drink it if you pour it for me, but don't need to buy a bottle.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's what I like about white wines, because you can just sit and drink it any time of the day, or any time of the day. Well, it depends.
Maybe.
Any time of the year, you can have it and you don't need food.
Yeah.
You can just sit out with your friends on the back porch and pour yourself a glass of white wine.
Never heard you call it a porch.
Or patio.
That's what I'm used to.
I know. But you know what? Because I was thinking
Nebraska?
No, because you hear a lot of people say they're just a porch pounder.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense then.
Yeah.
That clears it right up. All right. 5 to 4.
Okay.
Is that how you did it? You kind of put your top 5 kind of in a ranking style order?
Yes.
I did. Okay.
Yes.
And ladies first, because last time I went first.
Okay.
Okay. Lead the way.
So, but to set the rules, if I have one that's on your list, then we'll wait till you get to yours, or
When
vice
we-
versa.
when we
When we
name it,
meet.
yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So my number 5 was a Chenin Blanc.
It's on my list.
It is.
Okay.
Okay.
Can't believe you have that at 5.
Yeah. I
Wow.
do. I like a Chenin Blanc.
Yeah, no, but at 5,
Yeah.
thought it would be higher.
Well, I've got other ones that.
I can't wait to hear what's in front of Chenin Blanc, but okay.
But I remember mine is just like a.
I asked you if you
Basic.
ranked them.
I did, but
Okay,
mine are
so
like a
it's
basic.
5.
But okay, because there's one that I do like more.
Okay. Is it number 4?
No.
Okay.
Well,
It has to be because it's in front of number 5.
well, I guess so. Okay.
I'm just teasing you. Go ahead.
You're giving me a hard time.
Number
Okay.
4.
Oh, I'm saying all mine?
Well, because we
I
got to
thought
keep
we were
going.
going to go 4.
Oh, you want me to do my
Yeah,
5
yeah,
then?
yeah.
Okay, so we'll wait to talk to mine.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So just for clarification, it's your turn. You said number 5. It's on my list. We're going to wait to cover that when I hit it in my order.
Correct.
I'll go to my number 5.
Yes.
Okay. My number 5 is Albarino.
I didn't have that on my list.
Okay. To me, just a wonderful white wine from Spain. You know that. It's got these botanical aromas to it, which are very interesting to me. A little bit of citrus, a little bit of peach and apricot. It's light and refreshing, and it's very high in acidity. And acid in wines are very important,
Yes.
especially when you're going to have food with it.
Yes.
But just to refresh and cleanse the palate and keep it so you don't get kind of palate fatigue, acidity helps so much. Not too much. It's got to have, that's where we talk about balance in wine.
Okay. So, I do remember having some Albarinos, but if I'm not mistaken, there was probably one that I'm like, I'm not naming a certain wine, but I think that style was one that I was like,
We've had several. The most recent one you weren't a fan of, and neither was I. That happens. But as a category, been a big fan. We've liked way more than we've liked almost everything. Name me another one you didn't like other than the last one that we tried.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
But I do. Yeah. So maybe you're right. I don't know. I feel like that was what I know the wine, and I kind of forgot it until you said it right now.
Yeah.
But I guess because it wasn't something that I was like, ooh.
Well, and it sounds like your last impression of it was, not for me. Whatever bottle that was, and it was an Albarino. So you're going, don't want to say Albarino. But I think I could open you another one and you'd go,
oh, yeah.
oh, yeah, I want more of that. Please. Thank you.
Probably.
Okay.
I go my number 4.
Mm-hmm.
Riesling.
Ooh. I don't think that's on my list, so go right ahead.
Okay. Well, one of the reasons I like Riesling, I used to think it was like super, super sweet. I was probably drinking the wrong Rieslings. But as we tried more different, more German Rieslings, they're not as sweet. They're a little more drier.
Depends on,
and
just say you can get them not as sweet.
Okay, you can get them not as sweet.
Because they have, from very dry to very sweet.
And I think what I like about it is that you can eat it with a lot of spicy foods that it helps with the spice of the food. Helps cut the spice.
Yeah, so now you're talking about 2 different things.
Okay.
Talking about a dry Riesling that you like sometimes when you're just kind of having a Riesling.
Yes.
But when you're having a spicy dish, you like a Riesling with some residual sugar because it's that residual sugar that helps cut through the spice.
Yes. So I think that's why I like a Riesling because you get both.
Man,
both
I'm
worlds.
telling you, you probably have, and I don't know what the actual number is, but there's probably 8 or 10 different categories of Riesling from bone dry to like an ice wine, a dessert wine style, and everything in between. So off dry, with a little bit of sugar, like a Cabernet Spätlese, which is going to be much sweeter. I mean, Riesling to me is just such a very intriguing category because of the diversity within the wine itself. You don't hear that with a lot of different wines that maybe Chenin Blanc a little bit, but Riesling really has a very broad range of offerings within the category.
Maybe that's why I like it because you can get a variety of the style of Rieslings that you want, and depending on what you're having or not having, you can have a variety and a lot to choose from in that category.
I think it's a good one to have on your list. I didn't put it on mine just because I feel like, and I'm probably wrong, I think a lot of people don't know Riesling. I think they have kind of the opinion that you do that, oh, Riesling, sweet. And we're speaking from people in the States. Maybe people around the globe are a little bit more versed in wine. I think Europeans drink wine on a, it's part of their culture, part of their diet, if you will. Here in the States, I think when people hear Riesling, they think sweet most time. I'm talking about for the very casual wine drinker, not wine connoisseur, wine nerd type of person.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I think having it on your list is a great thing, and I probably overlooked that. So good for you to have that on there. Because I think it makes us talk about it a little bit, that people need to explore the grape Riesling from Germany, but also from Alsace makes some great Rieslings. Now here, you're going to get them mostly bone dry. I don't know that I've seen a lot, maybe a little residual sugar, but you're not going to get too many sweet offerings of Riesling from Alsace. But then you also go to Austria, who makes some great Rieslings. And also, here in the States, if you go to the Finger Lakes, they make some great Rieslings. If you go to Australia, they make some great Rieslings. So, yeah, definitely a grape that people need to explore more. A lot of folks, me included, it's in the running for the king of all wines, Rieslings. When you talk about white wines, Chardonnay's up there, but Riesling's right in that conversation as well. So a great wine grape.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. I don't think any of mine are going to be on your list.
Probably not.
Other than the
let's
Chenin
see.
Blanc that you said. But number 4 for me. Fiano.
Fiano? I know I've had Fiano.
You've had a lot of Fiano.
Yes, I have.
Yeah. Where's it from?
Italy.
Yeah. If you just say Italy, you're probably going to be right, 80%
Is
of the
it like
time.
in the northern part? No, it's on the southern.
Campania, down south.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're going to get citrus blossoms. You're going to get honey, tropical fruits, some nuts like almonds and hazelnut. It's in Campania. It has medium acidity. It develops richer and more complex flavors with its age. And it's a white wine that people can age for a little bit. You've had it a handful of times and you go, this is amazing. You remember, I don't know if you remember Rip and Tracy when we took them to Vinsanto and we opened a Fiano when we got a bottle there. And they were like, what in the world is this?
Yeah, I do remember. Yeah. Yes, I do remember.
Great wine.
I do like that. Yeah, I think our lists are going to be very different.
which is great. That means we cover a wider number of grapes and white wines. And again, my approach was, I want to talk about like Fiano. And it may not be the easiest grape, wine to find, but go search it out. You're not going to find it in a grocery store. Go look. A big box store like a Total Wine or a Specs or a Bevmo or something like that would have it. But also, I know for a fact if you're living in any size town that has a good population and you have a specialty wine shop or a boutique wine shop, they're more than likely going to have an offering or be able to get bottles like this. So Fiano would be one I would go search out for sure.
Well, mine will be able to find in a
Which
big
one?
buckshop.
This next one?
All of them.
All of them. Nothing wrong with that.
No.
They're going to make it easy for the people. I'm going to make them work. You're going to make them work, make it easy for them.
Yes, I am. Okay. So we're on to number 3?
Number 3.
Okay.
You want to go again or you want me to come back with mine? Snake. Or you can go. Go ahead.
Oh, it doesn't matter to me.
I'll let you go.
Okay. Sancerre.
Not on my list.
Not on your list.
No.
Well, I do like a Sancerre. It's more like a Sauv Blanc.
It's
almost.
not more like a Sauv Blanc.
It is a Sauv Blanc.
Yeah.
And I love a Sauv Blanc.
Well, where's it from?
France.
Sancerre.
Sancerre.
It's from Sancerre.
And where's that at?
In France.
I tell you, see, I
but
was
where
right.
in France?
Sancerre.
No, but where's
I don't know.
The Loire Valley.
Why are you quizzing me?
I'm not. I'm just trying to see how much you know about the wines you like. Instead of just going, what is this called? Sancerre. I like that. I'm going to remember that. Sancerre, I like.
No, I know I like a Sancerre.
Because, on the show, I always tell people, if you like a wine, go explore it. Find out where it's from. Find out who makes it. Find out. And, come on, babe. You got to start. I'm just
I
teasing.
let you do all that for me.
There you go. I do. You just ask me, do I like this one? Yes, babe. You like that one.
And sometimes I'll say, well, I really don't like it today.
You sure I like this one? No, Sancerres are great. I mean, I'll be honest and tell you. Well, you want to talk a little bit more about it, or I don't want to
No,
jump on
no,
your
no,
time.
no. You go ahead because I usually
Sauvignon
turn
Blanc,
to you.
Sauvignon Blanc was your go-to white when you got serious about wine, and it was Napa Valley. I mean, you were living on Duckhorn and what
Frog's Leap,
Frog's Leap,
Stag's Leap.
I'm trying to think. Peju. I mean, Honig.
Yep, all of them.
Yeah, you had all kinds of,
All of them.
that was Sauvignon Blanc was there. And to be honest with you, when I first got into the white wines, when I said I kind of transitioned over to going, white wines are good, I was there too. But as you explore the world of white wines, Sauvignon Blanc in general has gone down for me as far as really enjoying it, except for two regions. One being the Loire Valley with Sancerre, and then the Pouilly-Fumé.
Oh, yeah.
Which is also Sauvignon Blanc. Yeah.
I will have to tell you, I think the first time I ever I would say that I was more of a white wine drinker to just have a glass of wine and just drink, not necessarily caring about the food or anything like that. It wasn't until we had a dinner for a friend of ours for their birthday that we decided to pair wines with the food. And when we paired a white wine...
We had a wine professional pair it for us.
Help pair every wine with every meal or every dish. And it wasn't until we had our Caesar salad, and for the life of me, I cannot remember the white wine that we had with the Caesar salad. And that's when I said, oh my God, white wine can pair with food. Because when I tasted that Caesar salad and had some of that white wine, it was like magic. That's when I was like, okay, I know I can drink white wine with food, and it's not just your
So before that point, you thought it was just to have a glass before you eat?
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Yep.
That's been a lot of years ago.
It has been.
So.
Yeah, and that's when I was like, okay, I knew red wine could be paired very nicely with food, but I hadn't had.
You knew white wine with fish. That was
white wine. Yes, white wine with fish, and just white wine just to have a drink.
Okay.
And that was the first time I'd ever tasted white wine paired with that Caesar salad. Just was delicious. But to the life of me, I cannot even remember the name of the wine.
But Sauvignon Blanc, I do enjoy it from there. The other place I do enjoy it is Bordeaux. I don't think Bordeaux gets enough love for their white wines. I will say this. Most people think, when you think white wine, you think single variety, right? You think it's a Sauv Blanc. You think it's a Chardonnay. And that's generally true. But there are some regions that blend a lot, and Bordeaux is one of them. So a lot of times it can be Sauvignon Blanc heavy, but it's going to be blended with some Semillon. And sometimes it's Semillon heavy, blended with some Sauvignon Blanc. You can get still 100% of each of those varieties, but a lot of the wines from that region are blended with those two grapes. So kind of interesting to know.
Yeah.
And I think you're starting to see, at least I feel like I'm starting to see more and more blends in white wines that you didn't see a whole lot before. So kind of interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. But those two reasons, New Zealand, how do I feel about those Sauvignon Blancs?
You don't like them at all?
At all. I'm sure there's some other regions that I like. It may also be that I don't necessarily not like the wine. Might just be tired of it. Maybe that's a better way to say it.
Okay.
It's still good wine. It just doesn't hit my palate like it used to. Maybe I'm just more tired of it. I've outgrown it.
Yeah, that could be, because I would feel the same way about the Sauv Blancs from California.
Napa. Yeah. Yeah. We don't drink a lot of those anymore.
No.
Hardly at all.
No.
Because we've moved on.
Yeah.
And that's the world of wine. Keep exploring.
Exactly. Okay.
All right. So my number 3?
Yeah.
Gruner Veltliner.
I do like a Gruner Veltliner.
Is it on your list?
No.
Okay.
No, your list is going to be totally different.
Yeah, it is. Gruner Veltliners are predominantly known from Austria. Oh, yeah, you have a little bit in your glass right now.
Yes,
This
I do.
is a Gruner Veltliner right here. We were drinking this. You finished off the bottle. This was from yesterday. So, yeah, we love a Gruner Veltliner. Very aromatic wine. I think you get a lot of lemon and lime citrus on there, some grapefruit. It can be a little herbaceous. You can get a little bit of white pepper on it. It has high acidity. It's usually bone dry. You don't usually find any residual sugar on it. And you can get variations of light and zesty, but you can also get some with a little bit of weight and a little bit of body to them. So
I do enjoy it.
Fun wine.
Yes.
And having where you're not getting the same thing every time in the bottle, where you can go it like light and zesty, refreshing to something with a little bit more weight, a little bit more body, a little bit more roundness to it.
Yeah.
Makes it kind of fun to kind of explore that variety a little bit more too.
Yeah. No, I do. I enjoy that a lot. That's really good. And look, we're still drinking it the next day.
Yeah.
That's the other thing I like about white wines too. Red wines too. You can drink them a couple of days later.
Okay, I'll just tell you my number 2 before you go to yours is the same as your number 5.
Chenin Blanc.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, go ahead and
tell me about
it. Tell them. What do you like about Chenin Blanc?
Well, now you're putting me on the spot again.
It tastes good.
It tastes very good.
Yeah.
But I know it's a... You tell me.
Oh. Where do you get Chenin Blanc from? Where's the 2 biggest places that we enjoy it from? Where was the bottle of Chenin Blanc from that we bought yesterday?
Oh, geez.
Am I really putting you on that?
I can't even remember what I had for lunch.
South Africa.
Oh,
and then,
that's right. He gave us a taste of that Chenin Blanc. Yes,
yeah.
That's right.
And that was only a $20 bottle. And then you go back to Loire Valley.
Yep.
And that's where you're going to get, those are the 2 regions to me. I'm sure it's somewhere else, but when I think quality, not expensive, but quality Chenin Blancs, those are the 2 regions that I go to. Beautiful wines, can have some residual sugar in them a lot of times, not always, but I mean, just a wonderful, can be very mineral, can have, very nice fruit to them, great balance, good acidity, great acidity. I mean, really good acidity. So it's just another fun wine to drink that just really makes you smile when you take a sip.
Oh, I do. I remember when we went and I tried that yesterday from South Africa. It was like, oh, wow.
Well, because I said, I want you to try that. You need to try that at South Africa, because I've had it. I went to a South African tasting and I tried it.
Oh.
And I remembered the producer. So I said, hey, can she have a little sip of that? And you did. And I went, okay, let's take a bottle.
That was
pretty good, huh?
Very good.
And $20.
I know. Well, and that's the other thing.
Yeah.
Prices.
Doesn't have to kill you at the cash register.
No.
All right. So that's my number 2. Your number 2?
Chablis.
Okay.
That was my number 2.
To me, one of the great wine regions of the world. I know everybody's going to jump on Burgundy, and I get it. But, man, I like Chablis.
I like a Chablis.
And we even like Petit Chablis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what do you like about Chablis?
It's like a Chardonnay.
Yeah.
It's a Chardonnay.
It is a Chardonnay.
But it's I don't know. I'm
not trying to put you on the spot. I just didn't know if there's anything that comes.
No, nothing in particular. I just know that I feel it's my substitute for a Chardonnay that I used to have in Napa, although it's not anything like that at all. But it's I found something better than the Chardonnay, because I couldn't find anything here in the States that I liked Chardonnay wise. So once we tried the Chablis, I was like, wow, I really like that. And when you told me it's a Chardonnay, I was like, well,
because
there you go.
When you think about the Chardonnays that we're typically drinking, we're down in the Macanaise, down in the Macon, which is in the southern part of Burgundy. So southern part, a little warmer, a little riper. And so when you think about Chablis, now you're getting up to the north and about 50 miles off, kind of the main border of Burgundy. Leave Burgundy, go about 50 miles, and you're in Chablis, but it's still part of technically Burgundy, so it's cooler. And the soil up there, you're going to get a lot more minerality that comes from the limestone and the type of soil that they have. And it's super high acid.
Well, it's
super
delicious.
High acid. And that's what we love about Chablis.
Love it.
And when you think Burgundy, we go, like we just said, to the Macon. You can get some pretty decent values there still for some quality wines. But Chablis, you can really find some great values. You can find some great prices on Premier Cru. I don't know that I've ever seen a Grand Cru from Chablis. I don't know if they have a Grand Cru. I don't think they do in Chablis. I think they only have a Premier Cru.
Okay.
But you can get some good values there.
Yeah. Oh, well, yes. Yes, you can.
You want to come back with number one? Or you
Don't
want me
laugh at me.
No. If you say Chardonnay.
No.
Okay.
Champagne.
Oh, well, yeah, that's a white wine. I mean, I kind of put that in the sparkling category, but touche to you. That's a pretty good answer. I wouldn't have...
Champagne.
Okay. And you're in champagne. You didn't say sparkling.
No, I said champagne.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I thought it was white, so I'm like, well.
Well, most of them are. I mean, there can be some rosé, but yeah, most of them are white wines. Even though they're made with sometimes a red grape like Pinot Noir, they still...
Well, then I'll put champagne
Pinot
Blanc de
Noir.
Blanc.
Yeah. There you go. Put the Blanc de Blanc, and now you're good. Okay, you caught me a little off guard with that one because I just kind of think sparkling category if we're going to mention champagne, but I think that's a very good answer. Well, but you're mentioning this. What was your criteria? This just because you like to drink it? I
like it because that was our top 5 wines that we like to drink. Champagne. I love to drink champagne. And I had never, for me, growing up, champagne was celebratory. Now I've learned there's so many different champagnes. You can drink it with all different kinds of things.
It's a great food wine. It might be the greatest food wine.
Yes. Yeah. I love it.
But I would go a step further and say sparkling. I mean, I know you said champagne, but sparkling wine you love.
I do.
Champagnes are great. We love champagnes. Yeah. But we also like cremants.
Yes. And maybe I should have said sparkling. Yeah. You're right. Because I did have on my, what do you call that? Your
your honorable mention?
Honorable mentions. Yeah. I did put in there a Franciacorta. And I did have a rosé in there, but I figured that's probably not white wine.
You even had a Prosecco not too long ago that you loved.
Which one was that?
When we went to that Prosecco tasting at Killer Vino.
Oh,
the producer came in from Italy.
Yes. I do remember that. Yeah. Yep.
So, sparkling wine.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, champagne's a great answer. I'll be honest. I never even thought. I mean, again, I put sparkling in its own category, but technically, you're right. It's a white wine, so no argument for me.
So that was my number one.
Okay.
That was not on your list.
Champagne was not on my list. Wasn't even on my honorable mention. You notice I didn't even mention it when I rattled off, 20 different wine grapes because to make white wine because I'm thinking still wine, it's not sparkling. But that's a good answer. Well, my number one is a region in what country?
Your number one, a region? I don't know.
Well, what are you saying? You're probably right.
Is a region?
What country?
France.
Italy. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
Babe, I just told you earlier, if you say Italy, 80% of the time you're going to be right.
Well, you're right. Okay.
And you didn't even... Italy.
Sorry.
I'm going to
I'm stuck on my champagne.
to the southern island of Sicily. Any idea what I'm going to open?
It's like on the tip of my tongue. And it's Bianca, Etna Bianco.
Bingo. Good job, Sandra. Huh? Yeah, beautiful wines. Yeah. Love this wine region. Here's what I love. Really good. Every time I open one, because typically I'm opening the wine in our house, I'll pour you a glass, and I don't ever tell you, I don't get to play this game because you can't open a bottle. I mean,
I can open it, but
you don't know which one.
You don't want me to get in there.
I open it for you, and you'll go, that's an Etna Bianco. I love those. And I go, yep, that's exactly what I don't know. Well, because I think it has some very distinctive kind of characteristics to it. It's on a volcano, an active volcano. So you're getting this volcanic kind of infusion into the vines, into the juice, what you get in the glass. So it's very mineral driven. It's a dry wine. You know what the grape is? Caricante.
Oh, that's I wouldn't know.
So Etna Bianco is the region. Caricante is the grape.
Okay.
So they make wine from Caricante in other regions in Sicily, but you have to be on Mount Etna to be an
okay.
Etna Bianco.
Okay.
And to me, the other Caricante versions are fine, but they don't stack up to Etna Biancos because you
Okay.
get that minerality from the soils of the volcano. You also get some elevation because they grow these vines up on the slopes of the volcano.
Oh.
And then you're going to get all kinds of, floral notes, some citrus notes. You get some salinity, from being right there by the ocean and everything. So coming from the volcanic terroir, Mount Etna's are banging. I mean, they're delicious wines. And you know this, I'm describing them, but every time I open one, you go, oh my God, that is so good.
I do.
mean, I love your reaction.
I do.
Every time I open one.
You're absolutely right. And I didn't even dawn on me to even mention that. I guess I'm just this is what I like. But yes, I do love
a lot of times for me too, it takes some triggering to make me remember about wines and things because I don't always remember. So somebody will say something, then I'll go, oh, that's right. I remember that now. So sometimes it's just got to be a little trigger to it. But the other thing I love about it, it reminds me a little bit of Chablis when you think about Etna Bianco. Some of them, a lot of them, because of the minerality, but also the super high acidity. I mean, because you're in this cooler up on the slopes kind of climate, you get these linear temperatures that shift over the course of the evening. So you're in the Mediterranean there, high acidity and, great minerality. You get some flintiness to it, a little bit of smokiness to it, and just very complex, beautiful wines. And you know what?
Yep.
They get better with age. There's this thought, and it's a general rule, and it's typically right, that white wines you need to drink.
Right.
But there are a few exceptions.
Yes.
And Etna Bianco could be one of them.
Oh, yeah.
Chardonnays are a lot of times, some of them.
Yeah.
But it's got to be in a style, a quality where it's made to age.
Right.
And a lot of the nicer ones can. So Etna Bianco to me is a region that's
underrated.
Yeah, it's on my list.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah.
Beautiful wines. And again, you may not find an Etna Bianco at a grocery store, but if you get into a big box store and you get into a specialty wine shop, you'll definitely find them. They're getting more and more popular, so they're going to get a little more expensive. But right now, you can get a solid one for $25, $30, and you can get a just blow your mind one for $45, $40. So people are going, you spend that much on white wine? Again, white wine, it's where it's at.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of people like it in today's world because it's lower in alcohol.
Yes.
Generally speaking. That's the main reason. A little more refreshing, not as heavy.
Yep.
You don't have to have food, to your point earlier.
You don't.
A lot of reasons to be drinking white wine.
Love it.
All right. Well,
that's a good one.
We're going to jump to a few honorable mentions. That you said you had a few on yours.
Yep.
You want to?
Well, I did have a Semillon.
Great wine. Love it from Bordeaux. We love it from Australia. Makes some beautiful Semillons.
Yep, Semillon.
Okay.
And that's like totally off the wall. So again, we were talking about white wines, right? And I went with the champagne. Not only did I guess I like sparkling really, because then I went with a Cremant.
Yeah, I knew you liked sparkling. You've been into sparkling the last couple of years. Yeah.
So those were maybe my other. I mentioned Franciacorta that I put on here, and the Semillon and the Cremant.
Okay, those are good ones.
Yep. I just did a couple more extra.
I put on here Pinot Gris / Pinot Grigio, same grape. Italy, Pinot Grigio, France, and most parts of the other around the world, they call it Pinot Gris. To me, for the longest time, I thought, low level, low quality, not very complex. And for a lot of Pinot Grigios, that can be true. But we have come to find out in the last couple of years that there are styles of Pinot Gris and Pinot Grigio that are amazing wines, complex wines, delicious wines. When I think Pinot Grigio, I go right to Alta Adige up in Friuli, that region. I think Pinot Gris, we've been trying more and more from Alsace. Even Oregon, we've had a few that we go, those Pinot Gris are stunning.
Well, we'll have to revisit because I don't remember
not triggering
those.
with you?
No.
Okay.
No, but the Friuli, yes.
Yeah, Friuli.
Friuli.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we'll go up north again in Italy. I told you spent a lot of time in Italy. Suave Classico.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Do you remember that one?
Yes. Yeah. That's yes. That's good.
And then I'll give you a white wine that I think is an easy drinker up in the Piedmont. So Barolo Barbaresco, Roero Arnis, the Arnis grape.
Yes.
How much do we? Now those they're not as high in acidity. To me, this is kind of when you said porch pounder, it's a very delicious wine, but it's not super complex. And you don't have to think a lot about it, but man, it tastes so freaking good. So.
That's the one we went to that wine dinner or wine tasting, right? Yes. Yeah. I do remember that. That was, very good.
That was the first time he poured that. And
I think a lot of us love that.
Yeah. And then if the last one I'll throw out as we wrap up this episode of our white wine grapes, going to Abruzzo. Does that trigger anything for you? A white wine?
Lambrusque? No. I want to say
Abruzzo.
Go.
Pecorino.
Okay.
You remember that wine?
I do remember that wine. I'm trying to remember what I thought of it.
You liked it.
I'm sure.
You liked it a lot.
I did.
You said it tasted like cheese.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
No, was I going to say like a manchego or something?
No.
Well, then I don't know.
Pecorino. It's a cheese.
No. I was like, okay.
No, it's a delicious wine. Has nothing to do with the cheese.
Well, I didn't think it did. I thought maybe something triggered.
Although I think the cheese is around there, or the sheep, or whatever. The Pecorino gets a sheep's cheese. I think they have a lot of sheep down there. Okay. And cheese comes from there, but it has nothing to do with the grape. Okay. So that
and that's fine. But you know how sometimes certain things
I was just
trigger?
messing with you.
Okay, well, don't do that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Bad for me.
Yes.
I'll throw out last one from Italy. Gavi.
What?
Gavi.
Classico. Okay.
You remember those?
Yes, I do remember that.
Trebbiano. Remember Trebbiano from Italy?
Maybe I do.
I'm going to have my wife drink more white wine.
Well,
does that bother you?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
So we went through a lot of white wines.
Yeah, we did.
Anything that you are like, okay, I forgot about those, and you want to try again? Some of the ones that I named.
Well, I want to try that Trebbiano.
Okay.
Because I really don't remember that one.
You don't remember that one?
No.
Okay. We'll try that.
The name sounds familiar, but I don't remember. I want to
get you to have a Fiano again.
Okay.
You remember so you can remember that.
Okay.
Albarino, we got to have you have again.
Yeah. Yeah.
You remember Gruner Veltliner.
Yes, and I do remember Albarino, but that was one I feel like I was just like a touch and go with all the different ones that we've had.
That's fair enough. I really did like your champagne. That was a good pick.
Well, thank you.
Caught me off guard with that. I felt like I was going to know every one you would throw on there. I mean, I could just, see it coming, that you would telegraph it, and you didn't. You caught me with that one, but that was a good one. Well, champagne qualifies.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I never thought about it, but that's a good one. More people. I don't know that I'm going to say more people need to drink sparkling. I won't just say champagne. I think the sparkling around the world is getting so much better that and it's at a great price that I don't know that you need to go spend champagne prices for champagne. Now, you can splurge once in a while, but I'm just saying on a regular, we drink more Cremant than we do champagne.
We do.
Because we just want to pop some bubbles.
We do. So. Yeah.
All right. Always fun to have you back on the podcast.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this episode of Bottles and Bites Without Borders. And until our next episode, enjoy that next bite.
Cheers.